Hello student. So today I am going to discuss very important topic which is a continuation of a previous video which is nothing but a Bohr atomic model. In the Bohr atomic model, the last video we reached to the one relations. What is that relations? That relations we reach it Rn equals to that A naught into n square by z, where a naught value is, we got it, a naught is a 0.529 angstrom and n is a orbit number. Later on we call it as a principal quantum number. Orbit number, z is a atomic number of the element, atomic number of the element. And this Bohr atomic model will be applicable for the what? Hydrogen atom and hydrogen like atom. Hydrogen atom, this is a nth orbit radius of a Bohr atomic model, Bohr atomic model, and this will be applicable for the hydrogen atom or hydrogen like atom, like a hydrogen atom or He plus or lithium plus 2 or beryllium plus 3. So like that atom, this will be Bohr atomic model will be applicable. Now here very important few points I want to explain, that's why I took it this one. Now if you look at, if I make a plot Rn versus n square, Rn versus n square for the same element of atom, when A naught and Z will be a, this is also constant value and Z also will be a constant. That means for same element, if I make a, that means for same element means Z is a constant, A naught is already a constant value, and then Rn versus n square, if I make a plot, how the plot will be look like? Straight line equation, y is equal to mx. This equation will be what? Y is equal to mx like. So what is m? M is a slope. In this case, this is a slope. Slope will be equals to dy by dx. dy by dx, that means y2 minus y1, x2 minus x2 minus x1. Here the slope is nothing but which part will be your slope? A naught by z will be your slope. Is it clear? Now if I make a plot, Rn versus n, what will be the nature of plot? Now if you look at Rn versus n, again the same idea. Here the your same element A naught is constant and Z is also constant for the same element Rn versus n square. Then it will be like this, something like this, y is equal to some constant into a square. That means this equation you know very well, you are a mathematics student, it's like a parabolic equation. So then this Rn versus n, this will be what? Your parabolic equation. This is your parabolic equation. Now if I make a plot, Rn versus Z plot, that means the Rn versus Z plot means for here orbit will be same, A naught is constant, but element of atom will be different. Element of atom will be what? Different. Element of atom will be different. So that's why Rn versus Z. That means here A naught into n square part is a constant. That means constant by Z. That means Rn into Z is a constant. That means xy equals to constant. Like a P is inversely proportional to V. PV equals to constant. Rectangular hyperbola. Then this nature of the plot will be equals to what? Rectangular hyperbola. This nature of the plot will be rectangular hyperbola. Rectangular hyperbola. Why? Because we will get like this now, Rn into Z will be equals to A naught into Z square. That means this part will be the A naught into n square. A naught into n square. So that means this part will be equals to what? Constant. So that's why xy, suppose if it is your x, if it is your y, if it is your x, then xy equals to what? Constant. That means nothing but what? Rectangular hyperbola. Or you can think whenever this part is a constant, Rn is inversely proportional to Z. So that's why Rn and Z is inversely proportional. If Rn decreases, Z increases. Nature of the plot will be what? Rectangular hyperbola. Like that, from here we can do lot of things. Suppose that two different element of atom radius ratio I need to calculate. How? Suppose I am doing R1 by R2. Then immediately what I will put? A naught into n square, n1 square, and by here the what will be the z, by here we will put a naught into n2 square by what will be the z. This a naught cancel from this equation. Two different element of atom, radius 1 by radius 2, that ratio also we can calculate. So now next important point what I want to mention, the radial distance. If you look at the radial distance, what is radial distance? The distance between two successive orbit is called radial distance. How we can find out the radial distance? Already we know the equation. That means one orbit I am telling, there is a, this is your orbit, and another orbit I am taking, this is your orbit. Now if I find out the radial distance, and these two are successive orbit, now I want to find out the radial distance between them. So already for this, what will be my equation? My equations will be a naught into ma square by z. For this I will write down, that means for this radius of Rm will be equals to, I am writing like this, and now radius of Rn will be equals to what I will write down, a naught into n square by z. Now here I am writing this. Now the distance between the two successive orbit, what is this pictorially if you understood? That means this is one orbit is there, next orbit is there. That means here to here, if it is your 6 picometer, suppose here to here this distance is your 4 picometer, that means this distance is a radial distance. This distance is a radial distance. That is they need to calculate this radial distance. That means 6 minus 4, which is nothing but a 2 from this picture. Now here how can mathematically I can prove that one? So that means if you look at here, Rm equals to a naught into m square by z, here Rn equals to a naught into n square by z. Now if you take their difference, then what I can write down that difference immediately. So Rm equals to Rm minus Rn I am doing. Then immediately what I am doing? Suppose I am telling this is higher orbit radius, this is a lower orbit radius. Then I will take m minus n, or I can take this mod value, that means only the value I can take. So then immediately what I will do? A naught m square by z minus a naught n square by z. Then a naught by z if I take common, then m square minus n square, a square minus b square. Formula is a plus b into a minus b. So then immediately what I will put? A naught by z m plus n into m minus n, a square minus b square formula. Already we told you the two successive orbit. That means if it is your n1, if it is your n2, two successive orbit, then the difference between the m minus n, definitely it will be how much? 1. So then m minus n equals to 1. So then immediately from there what I am getting, that the radial distance, this Rm minus Rn is a radial distance. That expression is coming how much? That expression is coming is nothing but a naught by z into m plus n as m minus n equals to 1, two successive orbit. So that's why our expression is coming, radial distance expression is coming a naught by z into m plus n, because already we know the expression. What is the nth orbit radius? From there we know na, a naught into n square by z. So that's why m orbit m square by z, and n orbit a naught into n square by z. Then we take a naught by z common, then my equation m square minus n square, then a square minus b square, a plus b into a minus b, and m minus n equals to, we took it 1, because two successive orbit, their difference will be nothing but what? 1, because 3 and 4. So difference is what? 1. So that's why m minus n equals to 1, and we got the expression a naught by z into m plus n. Is it clear? I hope it is clear to each and everybody. So to get like this type of video, you give more and more comment, like, and give your comment so that I can upload the video and you can get the benefit from my channel. Thank you very much for attending the class. Thank you all. See you in the next video. Thank you all.